But it's not. What I found very quickly is the rest of that actual quote is part of an interview that she did, where she ended with the lawyers, where she ends up saying, he ends up pushing a little bit on and saying, so are you saying that you belong nowhere and to no one? And she said, I belong to Maya. And what I found is that true belonging is a spiritual practice. And it's about the ability to find sacredness in both being a part of something, but also the courage to stand alone. And the people, for those of us who struggle to have...
What's up, everybody? Good morning. Great morning, great morning, great morning.
We're risking
So,
that sense of...
I'm on my 10-minute live
because we have
consistency kick again. I know y'all heard me say this before. Fall 50 times, get up 8. I'm listening to Brene Brown. I love listening to Brene Brown, Mel Robbins. But this video, and I'll drop it in my stories with the link. But her speeches are amazing. I'm going to pause her for right now. But she is a part of how I set up my morning. So just sharing how I powerfully set up my day. When I like to set up my week on Sundays, first day of the week, and just plan my week out, obviously in my amazing journal. However, every morning, first of all, let me find my page. Boop. Man, y'all, time is flying. February is going to be over before we know it. That's 2 months already gone at 2024. So, okay, so how I set up my day. First, I just want to talk about the books that I read in January. So my goal for the year is to read a minimum of 2 books. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad with my son, and then I read Who Moved My Cheese. Who Moved My Cheese. These 2 were pretty good. This month, I'm actually going to read. I watched this podcast the other day, and you guys may have heard of the Budgetnista. This actually is not a book to read. It's more so like a workbook. So I shared my goals for 2024. Actually, my vision board is set up for the next 2 years. Normally, I set my vision board up for the current year, but I actually sat. I have some things on there that I had on my vision board last year that I had not accomplished. But, I'm giving myself the 50. I mean, when I turn 50, I'll still, of course, have another vision board. But what I did was I took the pressure off myself, because we live in a world where it's like, hurry up, do it real quick. And what I'm learning in my seasoned years, or my wisdom, is that, anything that is worthwhile having most times is going to take a minute to develop. So I've given myself some grace and taken that pressure off of my shoulders, and was like, what if you worked on this for 24 months instead of trying to rush it in 12 months? So, my intention with this is to become the best version of myself by the time I turn 50. And I talk about, when I speak about total transformation. It has nothing to it doesn't just have anything I'm sorry, let me say that better. I'm not just talking about body image. I told y'all, I want to be fit, I want to be healthy, but I tell everybody this too. Healthy is the new sexy, because people out here doing all kind of things that look like they sexy, and they paying for things that's very, very dangerous. I'm never going to be an advocate for none of that. But if your insides are well, like that should be our number one goal. Mentally, like working on your mindset. And when I talk about setting up my day, normally before I open myself up to the world, I always take care of myself first. And when I say I take care of myself first, because we, especially women, I mean, men probably do it too, but we have a habit of taking care of everybody else and everything before we pour into ourselves. So I'm really no good to anybody, my family, my friends, people on social media, until I take care of myself first. I used to think that it was a good thing to like run to everybody else's needs and help everybody else. But truth be told, I'm no good if I don't take care of me. Like, what does it look like I'm trying to rescue and help somebody else, and I'm not even taking care of myself? What does it look like for me to show up to tell you guys, take care of your bodies, and I'm not taking care of mine? Take care of your mindset, and I'm not taking care of mine. Take care of your spirit, and I'm not taking care of mine. Like, that's an oxymoron. I think that's how I feel. I don't know if I should have even said that, but but it is what it is. It's like saying you do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. No, you got to shift. So one of the things that I do, obviously, when we wake up in the morning, it's prayer. Like, y'all, people are leaving here, and I love the podcast that I listen to with it's Ayo. Guy came into the shop, and I was like, dang, he looked familiar, and I realized I saw one of his podcasts before. Big time. He's in Maryland now on YouTube, and I watched one of his podcasts, and he had Tiffany the Budgetnista on there, and the video was really, really great. And I love her what she talked about. She talked about time and how, you know, she lost her husband. Her husband was tall, handsome, 6'1" or 6'3", and healthy, and you know, and he wasn't here. Like she got a phone call on a Monday, and he wasn't here on Thursday. And that just go to show y'all, like, you know, we know these things are happening, but until it happened in your backyard, we move like we're invisible sometimes. So, you know, super grateful always for God waking me up, because, you know, this could be my real talk. This could be my last live. Sometimes we take this time for granted. And so, you know, we learn through the years, or however much time we have, that, like, no, tomorrow's not promised to none of us. So, okay, so we have prayer, right? And then I do my affirmations. I normally do that in a mirror. You know, I just affirm who I am and who I want to become. Like, you know, the things that I'm challenged with, even with going live. I'm grateful for being a powerful public speaker. I'm grateful for strength. I'm grateful for being debt free. Like, all the things that I'm affirming that I am, like, you have to look yourself in the mirror and believe it first. Because sometimes we'll say it and we won't even look our own self in the eye. And that's most times because we don't believe that we are worthy of it, that we are worth it, or that we are capable of achieving it. And these are things that we do over and over again. You just don't wake up one morning and say, hey, you know, I'm going to set up my day and it's going to be powerful, and then it's going to run over till Tuesday, Wednesday. No, you got to get up every morning. Well, talk to me. I get up every morning and I do this over and over and over again. And some days look better than others. Because if I was to tell y'all, like, I'm always hype, I wake up and I'm just like, yo, let's hit the ground running. That's not always the case. That's why it's important to do this over and over and over again. It's the consistency of the thing. And then my scripture reading. So I have a wall over here where whatever my scripture is for the day, I just start to put them, you know, I write it out, put it on my wall. And the intention is to just read over that scripture, ponder over it, meditate over it, ask God to give you expansion in the meaning or what have you. And I always pray that, like, even when I do my scripture reading, like, give me something that's for me. It's not Bible study, it's just a scripture that I read every day. I have this in my book, y'all, and I'm not even gonna hold you. Is that what they say? The 10-minute meditation. I have not mastered that for some reason, and I'm learning. I'm like, Lord, help me to learn to sit still for 10 minutes. And it's just me sitting quiet, minimizing the noise, and just clearing out your head. That's it. There's nothing magnificent, or, I mean, it's a powerful thing to do, but it's, you know, meditation means different things to different people, but I'm like, what do they call it? Bottom floor, just trying to learn how to just sit still for 10 minutes and just do that. And then I encourage a friend. So I always send out a message to somebody to encourage them. You know, when you ever get a message from somebody and it means something to you, or, you know, it's like, and most times it's so crazy. And I just don't randomly, this is just me, I just don't randomly pick a person. I'm just like, Lord, who could use a good word today? And it could be a poem, it could be a quote that I saw. And how many times have someone messaged you and you were like, dang, that made my day? So we get to give that back to other people. So you're always thinking, like, how can I give? When you give, you literally make room to receive. When you give, you make room to receive. I'm not telling you what I read. I'm telling you what I know through my life story, if you will. Because there have been times when I gave and I didn't have to give. And then fast forward, you just look at how, like, when you are in certain situations, how God just came through. And when you give with the expectation of not receiving anything back. Because people will do that too. They'll be like, oh, I gave you $5 last week. But, you know, whatever he put on your heart to do. And then even with that, I had to learn. Because, you know, when you when you're younger and you're rambunctious and you just want to help the world, you just help everybody, right? And I remember, helping certain ones, and I'm like, dang, yo, you're helping people with the same person over and over again. It's like, why haven't they like got the lesson, or why aren't they growing, or what have you? And then you realize that it's not for you to help everybody. Like I really had to learn how to pray about that first, because when God has somebody in a chokehold, I don't care how much you love them or how much you want to help them, your help is not going to get them out of that chokehold. But that all that come with wisdom, and so I had to learn that too. And then I sent my family a message, an encouraging message. Try to stay on top of my kids, and then my personal development. So personal development could be your book that you're reading, something that means something to you in the season that you're in. Because oftentimes people be like, what book you reading? The book I'm reading may not be the book that you should be reading in your season, in the season that you're in. But like I said, I love listening to Brene Brown, or it's whatever book. This book I got from Tiffany actually is not even like a book you would read. It's more so like a workbook. It's more so like a workbook. I thought about, but I'm always like gathering. I'm like, get the peanut gallery together, and then the peanut gallery fall apart, because I get excited about a thing, and then I want to share it with everybody, and God's like, this just for you, shorty. It's not for you and everybody. Because I'll be like, come on, y'all, let's do this together. And then when you look, you be like, you be on the island by yourself. Sometimes he'll give you something that's for you to run with. And, I'm not saying that not to share it, but my whole point is that this is a workbook. I actually had a conversation with my son. We've been talking a lot lately. And one of the things I said to him, I was like, dang, I wish some of the things I sent him to listen to, I was like, I wish my parents or somebody would have sent this to me when I was younger. It is not a knock to them, because you don't know what you don't know. And the goal is that like every generation should be better, right? Should be building it better. So I had a conversation with him, and I was like, listen, I'm not, how sometimes our parents will talk to us and they sound like, wah, 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 wah. I'm like, bro, if I was set up, if someone would have shared this information with me before, I would be in a different place. I'm not complaining about it though, because I see people that get up at the age of 60 and then, they make things happen. So I'm still like, in the game, if you will. But, all right, so let's get back to this real quick. So then my daily gratitude, I write all the things that I'm grateful for. So I'm grateful for peace. I'm grateful for strength. I'm truly, y'all, I'm really grateful for a positive mindset, because, that's one of my prayers, that like God keep my mind right there, because we could complain about a lot. We can, even to the point where like, you treat people like you want to be treated. You give grace and mercy because you want to receive grace and mercy, right? And, all different types of things are going on out here. And I'm just like, man, I'm just grateful to be able to look at situations with a positive mindset. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just always, and it's not to negate people. When people are wrong, they're wrong. But, we have flesh and we have spirit. You have to realize people operate in the flesh a lot. Like sometimes if we're not grounded or doing what we need to do, we respond. And it's completely flesh. And when you can identify that as a person, you understand how to respond to that. Anything anybody do and or say should not affect us. Let me take it back. People should not be, it's not that I'm not affected, but I just don't allow it to gauge my temperature, if that makes sense to you. So I'm having an amazing morning. I'm doing my, setting my foundation, and I won't allow someone to come in my space and just jack my day up. And the moment that happened, like if I feel myself like getting upset, then I'll go back and I check myself. Have you prayed? Have you been fasting? Because when you do those things, right, you're able to like for real, keep your own flesh under subjection so that you don't like snap back on somebody. So you literally get to smile and just pray for that person. And we as a people should do that more, because we, you see people going through things, or you'll see people like acting out, and it's like we could talk about the person, or what I do, go straight in the mode of gratitude. Thank God that's not me, because it could be me, but it's not. And you just, you just never know what a person is going through. So, doing my affirmations and my gratitude, and just like empowering my own self really helped me to keep and continue to develop my positive mindset. But that's an asset that I'm truly grateful for, because y'all know, you out here in these streets and you talk to different people. If I could sell it, I would, because I'm just like, and I know we all on different levels and we all learn differently, but I'm like, that's one thing. Like, this world is wicked, mad, and angry, and all, devil gonna use whoever he's gonna use, and I really try not to bend over and let him use me. But just learning really how to sincerely not just say it because it sounds good because we're on a live, like just pray for the person. It's not always that easy. Sometimes you gotta go in the corner, have a word with yourself, then you come back and you pray for that person. But God know your heart, and when your heart is pure, it all turned out to like it should. And also, so obviously I'm speaking from my journal, my 90-day journal. The most important win of the day, and I spoke about this before, like sometimes we have so many things written down, and then it's like, dang, I got 20 things written down and I only got 2 done for the day. Well, at nighttime normally, this used to be the old Crystal, I would just look at the 18 things that I didn't accomplish and be mad, versus celebrating the 2 things, because it's bedtime, so you're not going to get the 18 other things done anyway, so you might as well not allow it to interrupt your rest. But what I did was I wrote down what is the most important win of the day. Like, if I get this one thing done, then I feel accomplished. So you have a space to write that. So this is, and I normally set up my today, tomorrow. What I mean by that, so my schedule will go from 3 a.m. to 12 a.m. in the morning. If you do not run your day, I'm sorry, your day will run you. And I have not become a master. I created a journal and all this. I was happy because I found all my highlighters. So I will highlight my time. So I'm here in the morning. Some mornings I wake up and I'm on my bike. Some mornings I wake up, I'm at the gym, then I'm on my bike. Or like my workout schedule is a little flexible because of me training for my bike. But I normally will highlight the time I'm at Mana Nutrition, and then my other times. And what I'm doing now, because I'm working on this project, I got a couple things going, and when I come home, sometimes I just get too comfortable. I don't know if any of you guys can relate, but if I come home and there's dishes in my sink, I'm like, okay, let me just clean this up, let me just sweep this up, let me just fix up the couch before I work. So now I was like, Chris, you gotta treat this like a part-time job. So now I pack my bags. When I leave the shop, I'll go sit at the library for 3 hours, just like someone hired. I have to do it this way, because if not, it's like I'll show up different for other people. Don't ask me why, but I do. If I was working on somebody else's project, it would be done. When it comes to me, I always put myself last, or I'll say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. But because I need some things to shake and move, now I'm like, okay, you need to treat this like a part-time job. So I'll go sit at the library. So I said all that to say, my highlighters, I will highlight like the times. In social media, y'all gotta be careful, because it be some funny stuff on Instagram. I get caught up looking at one thing after another, screen shooting, sending to my family, sending them link because it's just so funny. And then you look up, you're like, dang, 90 minutes went by. So you got to be careful, because it's real easy to get caught up. I'm working on these posts for social media. Like the one I did yesterday, y'all, it took me like an hour trying to get that dance right, and then type. I'm getting better though, and I'm doing it because I need to do it, because there's billions of people out there that clearly I believe that I can help serve. And staying in my little box, I'm not gonna, people are not gonna be able to find me. So you just, do it in the most entertaining way to attract people to whatever your business is. If you're selling plants, then dance with your plant. It's so crazy. I probably take an hour because I'm mostly laughing at myself, and I'm like, no, we're not about to post that. And I was like, you know what? If you're laughing at yourself this much, somebody else is gonna laugh. So just post the video. So we do. But I digress. So yes, but highlighting your time and sticking to it, because it's one thing to make the schedule. It's a whole nother thing to show up and actually stick to the times. So this thing right here could be very controlling, can be very, and it's a thing now. It's not even like back in the day where you can't really go anywhere without your cell phone. Everything is on your cell phone. So if you're seasoned like me, just be willing to evolve, because it's here, period, point blank. Everything is done on here. But what I'm learning now, so when I go to bed at night, I did this before. It's so crazy. But we start doing a thing at work, right? And then we stop. So at nighttime, I would leave my phone on my desk. Because for some reason, I'll wake up and go to the bathroom and I'm like looking on Instagram. Why are you going to the bathroom in the middle of the night looking at nobody? Put the phone down and like get your rest. So I'll leave my phone on my desk at nighttime. And what else? And then set timers. So yeah, but that's pretty much how I have more for y'all, but wait, is this more than 10 minutes? Oh, snap. I only need to talk for 10 minutes. Look at that. See? It's 20 minutes. 10 minutes a day. But I just wanted to share that. And I'll be trying to think of things to talk about or share with you guys when I go live. Live is where it is. I'm grateful. I think I'm on Instagram and Facebook at the same time because before I had to go on Facebook. By the time I got done talking to y'all, I don't have no energy to go over here and say this again on Instagram. And they didn't have a way where you could like record the recording and share it over there. But I'm really grateful. I am grateful just to be here. Grateful to just open myself up and just be. I said that. My heart dropped. I got a message this morning. Well, I say I got a message because I'm always praying like, Lord, like help me. And when I went on Instagram, I reposted the video and it just talked about, I think the guy was saying like your prices, whatever your prices. But what I got from it is like, just stay in your lane. Like what God had for you is for you. I say it all the time, but you got to keep saying it and then you have to believe it because I will be the first one to be honest with y'all. Even when it comes to me sharing, it's so crazy how I say I'm nervous to talk, but now I'm getting better at it. And I believe I have a lot to share. So my goal and intention this year is to like really create these videos and post them on YouTube. But I'll go on YouTube and I'll see other people talking about the same thing that I want to talk about. And in my head, I'm like, they already made the video. But then it's like, yo, God have a lane that's just for you. We have to, I need to be the first partaker because I talk about it. Put your blinders on. Look right and left for motivation, but don't look right and left and get caught up in the comparison game because there's a lot of space out here for all of us, for whatever it is that you do. And I'm just in search and I'm always praying like, Lord, whatever you have for me, whatever my purpose is, like just give me the strength, give me the faith, give me the energy, just give me the whatever it is that I need to just go without second guessing myself. Because to me, when God tell you to do something and you're second guessing yourself, you're really second guessing him. Because he's not going to tell you to do something and then, and then just leave you hanging. We just have to be faithful enough to just step out there and just make it do what it do. What's the worst that can happen? The same thing I say in my videos. What's the worst that can happen? You're going to fall. You get yourself falling down does not mean failure. Sometimes it means that you're learning a lesson. Sometimes you're, you learning from your mistake. But falling down doesn't mean that you have failed. Falling down and staying down, now you're a failure. But we're not in that here to be a failure. So that word was for me right there because God knows, like I'll get hyped about something, I'll be like nervous, but it's like, girl, just do it, just do you. So that's all I have for y'all. It's Monday. I said time don't wait for anybody. Shout out! I know I'm so excited for my tribe. They're doing so amazing. Had to pat my own self on the back. Truly out here looking to be a leader by example, not sharing or having you guys do anything or not considering or what's the word? Where's Rashida at? Because she's always helping me. Suggesting that you guys do anything that I'm not willing to do first or that I'm not out here doing with you guys. But I'm really excited, want to be here just to see how this next month how this month is going to go and how it's going to end. And as always, I tell you guys, just be willing and committed to becoming 1% better every day in whatever it is that you're doing. And do something today that your future self is going to thank you for. And as always, those of you that are listening, have a word of prayer. Just continue to pray that I just stay in my lane and that I just, become the person that God has called me to be. So y'all have an amazing day. Love you, and I will talk to y'all later. And if y'all don't have a journal yet, I got it in blue and gold. I'm so proud of myself. It's something like to have a vision or something and just see it come to fruition or come to pass or whatever word you want to throw in there. But yes, so Y'all have a great one, and I'll talk to you later.